Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. In case you haven't noticed, I'm not wearing any eye makeup today, and that's because today I'm going to show you 4 different ways to apply your eyeshadow. So if you're in a rut of just slapping one color all over your lid and going, I'm going to show you a couple different ways to do your eye makeup so you can switch it up every once in a while. So let's get started. Before I start any of my eye makeup looks, I always go in with my MAC Paint Pot in Painterly. This just sets a nice base for your eyeshadow, allows it to not move everywhere, and it keeps it fresh all day long. So I always just go in with my finger. You can use a brush if you prefer. I just go in and put it all over my lid. This will also cancel out any veins in your eyelid or any discoloration of any kind. And once that's on the lid, I go in with a light matte color. I'm going to use this guy right here in my Studio Makeup on the Go eyeshadow palette. I just take a nice big eyeshadow brush, pat that all over the lid just to set that paint pot in place so that everything that you put on top of it goes on really smoothly. The first eyeshadow look I'm going to be doing today is just a super basic, this is like my everyday go-to eyeshadow look. I'm going to be putting in a darker color in the crease and a lighter color all over the lid. And I'm going to go in with this medium brown color here. I'm going to take a nice fluffy eyeshadow blending brush. This is the Morphe E17. And I'm just going to put that right in the crease. And if you don't know how to find your crease, if you close your eye and feel with your finger, it's where your eyeball ends and your eye socket begins. Or your brush will naturally just want to sit right in that crease anyways. So you take that color and you just drag it back and forth in that crease. And you always want to start with a little bit of color on your brush and work up. That's why you see me tapping off extra eyeshadow, because once you have it on, it's a lot harder to take off, so you always want to start with less. The key to doing good eyeshadow is blending. So just keep going in until you have the amount that you want on that crease. And if you want, you can take this outer corner into a bit of a V shape. If you're wanting to do a winged line or anything with this look. You can also go back into that lighter color and blend out the top. Like I said, it's all about blending. Once you think you have enough color in the crease, then you can go into your lighter color all over the lid. And for that, I'm going to take more of a flat eyeshadow brush. And then I'm going to go into this gold shimmery color. And then you just start putting that all over the lid. You want to keep it centered, or you want to keep it focused on the bottom part of your lid and not going up past that crease color. So just kind of going up to where that crease color starts. Then you want to go back with that fluffy shader brush and your first crease color and blend out the edges so that it blends nicely. And there is the first eyeshadow look. Super easy. It gives you a little bit of definition in that crease and a little pop of color on the lid. You can't really see it in the camera, but there is some shimmer in there. So you can keep it really simple and just throw on mascara with this look, or you can dramatize it with a winged liner and some lashes. And it's just a nice simple look. On the other eye, we're going to do almost the same kind of look, but reverse it. So we're going to have a lighter crease color and a darker lid color. And by doing a lighter crease color, it blends that darker color, so it's not like you just have a dark color on your lid and that's it. So putting that lighter color in the crease will help blend out the edges so it doesn't look like just one blob of color on your lid. I'm actually going to use the exact same palette and I'm going to use the exact same crease color, but then for the lid I'm going to go in with a darker color. So taking that medium brown again, and same thing, finding your crease and sticking it in there, blending and blending and blending. And this one you want to almost take up a little bit higher, so like where your bone actually starts, bring it up a little bit more, but not all the way up to your eyebrow. This will just help transition that darker shade that's going to go on the lid. And with this one I am making more of a pronounced V shape on that outer corner, just because when we put it put a darker color just on the lid, we're only going to bring it to the edge of our eye. But having this smoky outer V is just going to help soften it out a little bit more. And again, going in with that lightest shade and blending out the top of that so it doesn't get too harsh looking. Going in with a smaller flat eyeshadow brush, because when you're using a dark color you want to have lots of control, or else it can get out of hand and start looking messy. I think I'm going to go in with a purple. Going into my Morphe 35S palette, and I'm going to use this kind of a shimmery purple color. And starting just in the center of the lid and working your way out. That way you have lots of control over that color. And just slowly building that color up to the crease. Once you have that color kind of placed where you want it, you go in again with your fluffy blending brush and that medium brown color again, and start blending out the edges so it's not so harsh. And this will probably take a little bit of going back and forth, so I'm going to go back into that purple and just make sure it's not too washed out on the edges. So this is just a really nice way to transition that color without making a mess of it. And again, you can just pop on some mascara with this eye, or you can do the wing liner, or whatever you want. And usually if I'm doing a nice bold color like this on the top, I will take that color and go down on the bottom lid as well. But I'm just going to go in with that medium brown that we used to blend out the crease. I'm just going to take it on a thick pencil brush and bring that down under the eye, kind of connecting it to where we had that V shape going on, and then taking that same shader brush with a little bit of the purple, and I'm just going to keep this right on that corner there. I don't want to take that all the way down, and then that just kind of pulls the whole look together a little bit more. Okay, next two eyeshadow looks. Again, going in with my MAC paint pot, priming those eyelids. What?
Lost my coffee.
And of course, setting that again. Like I said, I start my eyeshadow off this way every time that I do it. Although, I'm not going to set this one right away. We'll come back to that one later. So with this one, we are going to do more of a dramatic eye look, and I'm going to use some tape for this. Just some regular old Scotch tape. Taking a piece of that, and before I stick it on my face, I'm going to stick it on my hand. Get rid of a little bit of that stick, or else it can be pretty harsh coming off your face. So you want to get underneath those bottom eyelashes and angle it up towards your eyebrow. I do leave a little bit of space between my bottom eyelashes and the tape. That way I can bring some of the color down to the bottom. So for this look, we're going to be concentrating a darker color on the outer corner and bring it in through the crease, and then you can put whatever color on the lid you want. You can do something darker or lighter or the same level but different color. You can do whatever you want with this look. So we're going to go in with the same medium brown that we've been using. This is going to work as a transition color like it did on the last eye look with the dark color on the lid. That way when we get really dark on the corner, it's not going to look really harsh. So again, starting in that crease, going right up to that tape and taking it in. We're not going to take it all the way into the inner corner. We're only going to take it about 2/3 of the way in. That way the inner corner stays nice and open and bright. And again, you want to take this little bit up onto that eye socket. Now I'm going to go in with the darker brown in this palette. Same brush, tap it off. And this one we're going to focus more in the crease. We're not bringing it up onto that eye socket. We're just keeping it nice and low and then pulling it onto the lid a little bit. Just really darkening that outer corner. You do want to bring it in the crease a little bit, but again, we're not bringing it right in to the inner corner. Just focusing on darkening it up right up against that tape. And you can go back and forth with that lighter brown color to blend out any harsh edges. And you want to make sure you're getting right down to that lash line with that darker color. And just blend, 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 blend. Now I'm going to take a slightly smaller, so this is the brush I've been using. This one is just a little tiny bit smaller. And I'm going to go in with that really, really dark brown. It looks almost black, but it is, okay, it's black. I thought it was really dark brown, but it's black. When you're starting with blacks, you want to really tap off the excess so you don't get a nice black chunk on your eyelid. So we're taking it at the very bottom of the crease, right up against the lash line, making sure you're bringing it all the way to the tape, and we're just focusing this one on that very, very corner. You want to make sure this is making a nice V shape with the tape and your color. And then again, going back and forth with your lighter colors to help blend out that black. I'm using the bigger fluffy brush again to do this so that we're not picking up any more black. And you can help run that black into the crease as far as you want it with those lighter colors. I'm going to use, let's do some pink. I'm going to go into the BH Cosmetics Neutral Eyes and use that one shimmery pink that they have in there. And sticking that. I've never actually used the shadow before, this pink one, but it doesn't seem to have, oh, there we go. Okay, so you gotta load up your brush with this one. So then we just want to take it right underneath that black in the outer corner and bring that all the way in to the inner corner. I'm going to go into my 35S palette and use some of this darker pink in here as well. And then again, once you have it placed where you think you want it, go in with that big fluffy brush again, some of that brown, and blend it out. And then I would take the lightest color that we set the MAC paint pot with and blend out that inner corner so we're not getting too dark in that inner corner. Going back with the pink to make sure it's as intense as we want it. And blending it back out. I'm going to go in with some of the black and just make sure that that corner is nice and intense. Blending, blending, blending. Now that I'm happy with what the top looks like, I'm going to go in with that pencil brush, starting with the medium brown, bringing it down between the tape and that lash line, then going into the medium brown and just building up the color. And a little bit of that black, just so we get a nice sharp line down there as well. And that's going to give us a guide when we go in with our liquid liner, because what look like this needs some nice winged liner. So now you can take that tape off. You can see you've got that nice crisp line there. And I'm just going to go in with that pencil brush again and smudge it out a little bit in that more inner corner. Now I'm going to go in with my NYC eyeliner liquid. If you don't feel comfortable freehanding this, you can leave the tape on to do the eyeliner, but I just like to follow that line. When I do a dramatic wing like this, I also like to go in with a black waterproof eyeliner and tight line underneath the lashes, and then take that onto the bottom waterline as well. As one last final touch, I like to put a little highlight in that inner corner. So I'm just going to go in with the lightest gold shimmery shade in this palette and just pop that in the corner there. Just kind of opens up that inner corner of the eye. And then of course I would put mascara on and maybe some lashes. You can do whatever you want from here. Okay, our last eye. And this one, we are going to do a halo effect. So what we're going to do is we're going to take one color, bring it in the crease, focus it heavy on the inside, heavy on the outside, and then do a pop of color in the middle. Remember how we didn't set the primer on this eye? I'm not going to set the whole thing. I'm just going to take that lightest color and set above the crease, right down to the crease, but not putting it on that center part of the lid, which is where we're going to have that pop of color. For this look, I'm going to be going in with some greens. In the Morphe 35S palette, I'm going to be going in with probably mostly this green, and then I'm going to use this light, almost like a lime green, shimmery color for that pop in the middle. But like always, I'm going to start off with a transition shade. Okay, now we're going to get into that green. I'm going to keep using this big fluffy brush, get that darkest green onto my brush, starting off with just a little bit. So we're wanting to concentrate this on the outer corner of the eye and on the inner corner of the eye. So you're not going to want to touch that middle of the eye at all with this. I like to set it in the inner corner and the outer corner before I connect them in the crease. And then I'm not going to put any more on my brush, and I'm just going to sweep that into the crease just to get a light outline of where that green is going to go. Then I like to open my eyes really wide and make sure I can see that color when my eyes are open as wide as they can be. So I just want to take it a little bit higher. I never want to stick that fresh pigment right in the middle of my eye, so I'll start over here and just start dragging it over a little bit. I'm going to switch to the smaller blending brush so I can really get that shape that I'm going for, a little more precision. Now that you have that dark green down, you want to take that small flat shader brush again. Ooh, wait. Just to make sure this really pops, I'm going to go in with that paint pot again and just dab that right in that middle part where there's no shadow, just so that that light green really has something to stick to. It's going straight in with that lime green and sticking it right on top of that. And then going back into that green, the dark green. And making sure you blend out the edges. And going back and forth until you've got the look that you're going for. I feel like I got just a little bit too low with this green on the corner here, so I'm just taking a Q-tip with some makeup remover and sharpening it up a little bit. When you're doing a dramatic eye like this, or a really colorful eye like this, it's a good idea to do your eyes first and your foundation afterwards so that you can clean up like this without ruining your other makeup. You know what, for the fun of it, I'm going to show you what it's like to do a contrasting color on the bottom. I'm going to go into my Morphe 35S palette again, and I'm going to go in with this lightest purple right here. So I'm going to start that on the corner right where that green ends. And I'm just going to take that right down along the bottom. And I'm going to go in with a bit of a darker purple. Going in with a slightly smaller pencil brush. And then I'm going to go in with a small fluffy brush. I'm going to go in with the shade that we set our eyelid with and just blend out the edges of that purple. And that's how you can add a little bit more drama to your eyeshadow, by adding a contrasting color on the bottom. And then it's a little fun look. That would be even more fun if we take this purple right up under this green here too, creating almost like a wing with the purple. So there you go. There are 4 different ways to do your eyeshadow. Of course, you don't have to use crazy bold colors like I did, but I wanted to show you how the effects really work. And now you have a couple more ideas of how to do your eyeshadow. I just realized I'm missing a chunk from my eyebrow right there. And again, with this eyeshadow look, you could do a winged liner, you could just put on mascara, you could put on lashes, you can do whatever you want from here. I know I look crazy now, but there you go. That's how you can do 4 different ways of applying your eyeshadow. I hope you guys learned something today. If you like this video, give it a big thumbs up. And if you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel so you can see all my future videos. See you next time. Bye, guys. If you hadn't already noticed, I'm not wearing any eye makeup today. And that is because... Why you gotta be so loud when you flush?
Well, me, I'll be quiet next time.
Okay.
I'll leave a giant deuce in the toilet for you.
Trying to film here.